Welcome to the Clause YouTube channel.
Together, we strive for a safer, secure, and more stable world.
Hello and welcome to Center for Land Warfare Studies YouTube channel. Today we are going to do a podcast on a topic which is of the new generation technologies. It is the topic which we have been discussing in isolation. We discuss AI, we discuss space, we discuss energy, but have we ever thought of discussing all the three together? I think that is something which will be quite interesting. And to do that, we have with us uh, one of the leading, I would say, proponents of this kind of a thinking in terms of technology, a professor of practice, General PR Shankar, with us, who's at IIT Chennai and heading their technology section as far as military interface is concerned. Welcome to you, sir, to this podcast.
Oh, thanks a lot, Lt Gen Dushyant. Thanks for calling me over to class. It's always a pleasure to interact with a leading think tank of the armed forces. It's a pleasure.
So, in the last few years, I would say technology has been changing at a pace which is sometimes referred to as tsunami. In fact, I started this phrase and now people have started picking it up in a big way. You find that AI has been the driving force behind it. AI has proliferated to about 20 to 48% across functionalities and enterprises. So, both in terms of functions, also it is making inroads, and also in terms of enterprises, various industries, etc. Global investment has increased manifold. In fact, 2023, the US, of course, has always been the leader in this, but China is following very, very closely behind. But if you look at the Indian investments, they paled in front of these investments. But that is not to say that India is not doing well. In fact, India is in the top five. If you take the cumulative expenditure of AI, investment of AI as far as India is concerned, we are at the fourth spot, just below United Kingdoms. In fact, countries like France, Germany are way behind us. But that should not be a matter of rejoice for us, because see the asymmetries. What I'm going to talk next is about the space. Now, space has also taken a big leap forward. You find that while India is a leading space power, but here again, the asymmetry kills us. You have the cumulative number of projectiles sent into the space by the United States since the space exploration started is around 5,534. Russia closely followed. Although Russia took the lead, but subsequently it fell behind. Russia is around 3,611. India is at the seventh spot with 127. And this picture actually becomes further gloomy if you look at the military satellites. India just has 3 military satellites. Although we have dual use satellites through which we try to exploit our shortcoming, but that's not enough. I mean, if we look at the US has 267 defense military satellites. You have China around 160 plus military satellites. India 3. So again, the asymmetry is something which is actually putting us at a disadvantage. Look at energy. Now that's a big drag for us. All our money actually goes into catering for energy. We are the largest importers of energy as far as oil and natural gas is concerned. Our most of some, in fact, there was a person called Richard Roslow who said that two things drag Indian economy: defense imports and hydrocarbons. With this overall view, can the convergence of all these three, AI, space, and energy, have some positive implications for India? So I would like to ask you this particular question. Over to you. I've taken enough time.
Yeah, I think that's why I actually, if you remember, when we discussed this earlier, the future is in the convergence of AI, energy, and space.
Yeah.
These three things will drive other cutting edge technologies, which we will talk of over the next 25 to 30 years. Why AI? AI is dominating almost every walk of life, whether you talk of smart cities, whether you talk of major services,
Yeah.
and all that. And then, of course, with the impact of DeepSeek and all that which has come in, large language models have are proliferating. But more important than large language models are small language models. And small language models, for just to put it, are purpose-oriented models for specific tasks, which are there. Say you want to use a first-person drone,
Yeah,
FPV
absolutely.
drone,
Absolutely.
that's got a small language model only for that particular task.
Correct.
Then today there's a proliferation of medium level language models which are domain specific, right? Or a particular domain you develop AI and base and all that. So there's a proliferation. With this kind of a proliferation, you need a whole lot of energy.
Yes.
Why energy? Because this data has to be stored somewhere.
Absolutely.
And if this data has to be stored today, the talk is of GPUs and things like that. And even in the case of DeepSeek, which initially gave a view that look, they've circumvented a lot of things, but at the end of the day, you need storage.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And,
That's true.
right? You need to keep your data somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just not that old concept of a data center.
Correct.
Right. And if you need that huge amount of storage, you need energy. And if you need energy, you need to get it from somewhere. Today,
You need sources.
sources.
Yeah.
And those sources on Earth are reducing.
Absolutely.
Whether it's hydrocarbons or uranium or
Yeah. I mean,
you have to go to space.
Yeah.
And that's where space comes into thing. Plus the fact there are a lot of our things what you want to do in terms of surveillance and everything. Everything is space. Space is a ubiquitous thing where you have to go for almost everything. Even your mobile, you are through space. Your GNS, you are through space. You want to move from one place to the other, navigation, you're through space. So this triangle of space, energy, and AI will dominate in the next 20. I would say 20 to 25 years.
I was referring to it as transforming triangle.
Yeah,
for
transforming.
better future.
Okay, that I go with your thing. So this is the basic thing. If you want, we can discuss each one of them. You have a
Yeah. So basically, what I wanted to have a follow-up question to this was that you refer to energy, the need for energy, therefore the need to go to the space, and in the space, the question which comes to my mind is that isn't it too futuristic at this stage uh, that we rely on this kind of a triangle, or uh, we initially focus on the first two, which is the land, Mother Earth, and the AI, to maximize whatever we have, and then keep investing into space and try to get as much traction to get this energy. So, what are the areas in the space which you feel can be exploited at this stage to work towards getting the energy from space to us?
Okay. See, at this point of time, space is an expanding medium. You need space for daily life, right? Whether you want to do surveillance, you want to do smart cities, you want to, navigation, whether it's maritime navigation, aerial navigation, everything, communication. Almost everything is today, like I said, through space. And so the exploitation of space is huge. And that is why, earlier you said so many objects in space and all that. That has proliferated huge. Like Starlink has itself got over 1,300, stations up there. So that is going. Now, as that is opening up, so there's a convergence between space and energy. I'll come to that a little later. So you are exploiting that part of space. The space assets which you need today for today's technologies and today's requirements are near Earth, LEO. But when you want tomorrow's energy, you have to go to deep space. You have to go to Mars. I mean, why are we going to Mars? Is deep.
That was interesting. I mean, we have explored the South Pole of the moon, and we are trying to go to Mars. So, what is available in these two places which can actually help us generate that energy which we were talking of, and also water?
Basically, they say water is the oil of space. And water so far has been detected only in the south pole of moon, around the south pole of moon. So everyone is going there. Why water? If you get water, that gives you fundamental energy. You break up hydrogen and oxygen. It's like a fuel cell. So you get energy. Now what do you do with that energy? That energy you can't bring it down. Neither can you this energy you have to generate in moon and then mine the moon surface where there's plenty of helium available.
Okay.
So you use that helium and then using water, which is broken up in oxygen, and these are propellants basically, isn't it? So then you can step to moon and set up something in moon. Set up something in Mars. And Mars is full of deuterium, which is H3,
Okay.
heavy hydrogen. A combination of deuterium and helium, you do fusion and then you get energy. That's tomorrow's energy. Now, as far as Mars is concerned, so if you have to go to all these, so you get the basic materials for tomorrow's energy from Mars and Moon. But to go to there, you need space capability.
Yeah.
And to get unless you get that energy down on Earth, you don't have, you can't power your AI systems of tomorrow. Okay. Now, Mars, let me reverse back from Mars. Mars, how many countries have gone to Mars? Only 4. Soviet Russia, not Russia, Soviet Union earlier. USA has done a number of landings. China has done a landing very recently. And India has done the Mars orbiter. It's not done a landing. So we have this capability. Only 4 countries have gone there.
Yeah.
Okay. So as of now, when you say India is not up there, no, India is up there in a different manner. You are up there for tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Then again, south pole of moon, who all have gone?
Only India.
China has now recently gone.
China has just
gone there, and they put a rover down, all that, and they got something back from there. Yeah. And USA has not gone to south pole of moon; they are still to go.
Yeah, they haven't.
But they've got the capability. It's a matter of time.
Yeah, it's just that.
Yeah.
They have probably delayed it.
Okay, and of course, the advantage India has, if you last month we did this space docking experiment.
Yes.
And space docking experiment is fundamental to go land or come out of moon and for a manned space station and all that.
Okay.
So with these, you get the capability of getting raw material. And then when you get that raw material to Earth, you convert it through a fusion process. Now the fusion, who'll do? Fusion process is for the first time last year. They've done 2 experiments in a lab. It's called the Lawrence Livermore.
It's in the US.
It's in the US. They've done 2 experiments where you can do fusion.
Okay.
Fusion is like sun energy, limitless.
Yeah, that's right.
But the raw materials you have to get from outside. China is also into it, and there's an international, consortium, CERN, which does this.
Okay.
And ITER. International Thermonuclear Energy Reactor.
Okay.
So, China is part of that. So, there's an international forum which says, okay, let's get fusion. So, you have USA, which is had this technology, and ITER, which is the international forum, which is getting this collaboration. China is part of that. So,
is India part of it?
Yes, India is part of it.
Okay.
A lot of activities going on as part of it.
Yeah, since you didn't refer to India,
so I thought I was coming to India.
For our audience, I thought you clarify that.
We have a lot of stake in ITER.
Okay.
So that is there. Because look, you're going to Mars, you're going to Moon.
Yeah.
So tomorrow you...
Yeah, collaboration is very important.
Collaboration is
especially
very important.
From the cost point of view.
Cost point of view. So we are in it.
Okay.
And it is said that anyone who has a space program which can go to Mars and Moon is a future superpower.
Okay.
So we are there. We're the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that there is no denial.
No doubt.
I only spoke about the asymmetry.
Yeah, no. Asymmetry at this point of time we have in terms of today's thing. Yeah. But I think that will be a thing of the past.
My oblique reference was that we should not be left behind in the race.
No.
The new race.
No, we are not.
We are talking about.
We are not in... I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right? Today you might feel we don't have enough satellites, but that's a functionality. Okay, now once you get the thing, energy. And here I'll go on a little tangent. India has a tremendous lead in energy, which we untapped potential is in the form of thorium.
Yeah.
Okay, today,
Although, I mean, since you touched a issue which I'm quite connected with it. See, I was giving my staff college exam, entrance exam, and I was going through my science and military presi, and there I found that this thorium that
yeah,
was discussed in great detail, and we have so much of resources, etc. That was way back in 1990s. I was
yeah,
preparing for it. Today is 2025. Could you just throw some light
yeah.
on progress we have made in the
Okay.
thorium bit?
See, thorium is a very good material for energy. And thorium technology is not new, it's old,
Yeah.
really. But the world didn't go towards thorium and it went to uranium because a lot of research on thorium took place in the West.
Okay.
Not thorium, sorry, uranium took place in the West, and availability of uranium is more in the West. So they progressed the uranium route. The other route and the safer route is thorium. But since thorium was not available that much where
West.
research was being done,
Okay.
they didn't go that. But there's a lot of thorium in India.
Yeah, I know.
The Kerala sands are full of thorium.
Correct.
So we've done research after we in fact India is betting big on thorium,
Okay.
and we are the leading researcher in thorium technology today. Now we have a 3-stage plan for thorium. We have passed the first stage. We started the second stage.
Okay.
Our Prime Minister started the second stage last year.
Okay.
He inaugurated the second stage.
Okay.
And now the third stage is where you'll have a thorium molten salt reactor.
Right.
That by the current process should take another 10 years.
Okay.
Why? Because to start a thorium reaction, you need uranium, and we don't have uranium.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'll come back to it. That's why our Indo-US collaboration is important.
Yes.
But I'll come to that. So we are in the second stage. You can hasten the third stage if you have more uranium and you have put more uranium reactors.
Okay.
Okay. The other country which is also looking at thorium is China.
China.
Because China has got bigger problems of energy than we have.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because they are
They
far
have
ahead.
problem of both water and
And
energy.
energy. Right. So,
Not that we don't have. I mean,
no,
problem are with both.
we don't have that kind of a problem which
With the Chinese.
the Chinese have. You see,
that-
Chinese have gone ahead high on AI and industrialization and all that.
Correct.
And they're running short of energy.
Yeah.
And their need is immediate. Ours, as you progress, you will get that. It will unfold. I'm very sure of that. So we are there. So the first thing I said, space, regress back to energy. You have an alternate energy which others don't have, and then you get to the fact that you need AI.
Yeah.
Right? This is the triangle. Now you will say, look, what does India do?
Yeah.
Right? How do you leverage this AI and
Space and
energy? Let's talk of AI.
Yeah, the convergence part. That was the final bit.
Mm.
How do we converge the
Converge
three?
this. Let's talk of AI. How do you develop? First and foremost, like you said, we are spending a bit on AI, but hardly compared to others. Do you need to spend more? Definite. Can you spend on your own? Difficult. Because you don't have the funding, you don't have, but you have something which no one else has. You have human resource. Because it's our human resource which has gone abroad and is doing everything.
Yeah, I mean, we are the outsourcers of human resource.
Yeah.
And across the board, right
Across.
from the top of the lot to the bottom of the lot.
So, actually, there's something happening because Microsoft is now investing nearly $3 to $4 billion in India to develop the fundamentals of AI in India.
Okay. But will we have the lien over it?
That's what we have to negotiate now.
Yeah, because it's made in India.
But it goes there.
Yeah.
So
Can
how
it
do
be
you
made-
tap this? How do
can
you
it be
tap?
transferred to make in India?
You see, the way I look at it is today, if you look at the geopolitics, I think we have to talk to Mr. Trump. We have to talk to Microsoft and anyone, because we have limitless pool of talent
Correct.
who can develop AI. But it's not that. If you just develop AI, it won't meet the thing, because you won't have the energy for it. Energy chahiye na.
Absolutely.
Today you have a problem.
Correct.
So what energy can you do? Okay, today you can do hydrogen energy, and maybe drill, extend a lot of oil,
Yeah.
and so renewables and all. But there's a limit. What is about long term? Long term is thorium
Correct.
for us. Look, space-based fusion energy is probably 25 to 30 years ahead, maybe more.
Maybe more.
But thorium is available,
Within
and
the
that,
reach.
though I've said 15 years, is as per current.
Okay.
But if there's investment into thorium,
It could be
and-
compressed.
yes, and it's in US interest to do it,
Okay.
and US plus Canada. Canada is the biggest
Yeah, but
repository of thorium.
we have some
uranium.
problems with Canada.
No, we
so-
might, but US doesn't have. So that is the route.
And also, who knows?
And these are all transitory.
Yeah, geopolitics is a very,
yeah.
very fickle.
Yeah, tomorrow Justin Trudeau is out and someone else
somebody
comes,
else
and
comes. Correct.
So with additional uranium, you can hasten your process and get thorium faster. That instead of 15-20 years, you can get thorium energy out. Put in a few molten salt reactors within the next 10 years, and we have the expertise for it.
So, what I gather now is that we need to create a kind of a roadmap for energy, wherein we fill in the gaps from the long-term sources by the short-term
Short-term
resources. So, in that particular roadmap, we did not speak much about the solar energy and space. Is there a scope
Yeah.
now for the solar energy being tapped to India? I mean,
Yeah,
tapped
I'll come
the
to
earth.
that. I'll
Yeah.
come to that. I'll come to that. So you have thorium, which will do a huge gap filling, which US wants. Investment can come from US.
Yeah.
Have a sharing agreement. You have the manpower, they don't have the manpower. So there's a good partnership which we can develop for AI, and use that AI for ourselves, and establish your own data centers and GPUs and all that. Now comes the part of space.
Yeah.
How do you live with space into it? At some point of time, we have to go to space for Mars. I mean, go to Mars for energy. Whether it's part of ITER or whoever it is. And as you have the space capability increasing, it's not only for energy, it's for other things.
Yeah, I
also.
mean, the other resources, other services, people are generally aware.
Aware, but this is something-
especially the military one, ISR, PNT. PNT is positional navigational tracking. You have forecasting of weather, etc. Speed of, command and control
Yeah.
centers being. We are now calling in terms of layered communication system from maritime right up to the
space.
GEO. So GEO, MEO, LEO, terrestrial, and the so it's a huge jump in these areas. But the energy was something which was
So the point
little less
is
discussed.
No, less discussed. But the fact is that you've done space docking, you've gone to moon, you've gone to Mars, you have the capability. You soon, in a few years, you'll have a space station, manned space station.
Okay.
All this help you to harness energy from space.
Okay.
And this, as I understand it, between NASA and ISRO, there's a lot of give and take
Taking place.
taking place. You see, if you see, I would put it not only with ISRO, it's also with Russia.
Okay.
Right? Russia. And let's not count out the geopolitics of tomorrow. Tomorrow, Russia and USA might start collaborating on this issue.
I mean, anything is possible.
Possible,
They say
yeah.
geopolitics, but this will be possibly a game changer if
Game
it
changer.
happens.
But, well, we are the bridge for it.
Yeah.
India could be the bridge for it.
Absolutely.
So, I think there is a lot of scope. And see, like I told you, there are only 4 countries who have this capability. Russia, when it was USSR, they've already done a Mars landing. They've done 2 Mars landing in 71 and 73. Right? So only 4 countries have this capability of going there. USA, Russia,
Yeah.
China and India.
Yeah.
And it is only these four countries who have to do whatever they have to do.
Correct.
Naturally, we can't collaborate with China. If you read the Chinese media and all that, they make fun of us. But that's okay. I mean, that's part of the Chinese propaganda and all that. But not the USA, not the Russians.
Yeah. You see, I mean, purely, sir, if going by what you have said, it is very clear that we need to harness energy for a better future.
Future.
Because without energy, neither AI is possible, neither our exploration to the space
Space
is
is
possible.
possible.
So energy becomes the kingpin, which has always been the kingpin, whether
Yeah.
it was the hydrocarbons or later on nuclear, and thereafter now we are talking of thorium, space-based energy being transported to the earth, those kind of things. So possibly what we need to do is uh, utilize AI for making our processes efficient and faster. So that's the role of the AI. The second is the use of space as a storehouse for energy, and make a roadmap for energy which
And
keeps filling your gaps.
No, I'll qualify what you said. You also need AI to take you into space.
That's what I mean. AI is making all those processes
Process
faster, better,
yeah, design
decision
and all
making.
that. Yeah.
So we will move on to the next big thing. This is all very good. You know, looks very. I mean, you've painted a picture which looks at a future which is going to be so good. You know, everything being available to you, energy, AI, whatever you want to call about it, your way of living, your
Yeah, you have to look at it that way.
yeah. So but then there are challenges to such a
Huge.
future, such a
Huge.
future. So what are those challenges which you feel are going to come in your way, especially for India? Because India, I mean, although people talk about India in a not in a very especially China, etc., they try to underplay our achievement. But if you really talk of innovations, I think India is the leader in innovation
Yeah.
as far as space is concerned. With peanut budget, we have done what these people have spent millions and billions of dollars to do it. So, with that, what are those challenges, and how can we overcome them?
Look, the first challenge I feel is we have to know what we are, what is our potential. The politically and at the government level, people should say, look, this is the potential we have. It's not potential. There's a capability you have. And that capability has to be transformed into actual capacity, right? And put it on ground. You need to promote all these innovative ideas. You have to realize this is the future first. You have to accept the fact that you are there. You have to accept the fact that these three are the transformation technologies or transforming triangular technologies, as you put it.
Yeah.
Then you need to have a lot of public-private partnerships. You have to have a lot of international cooperation. Lot of international cooperation. You have to invest a lot in AI. Okay, a tremendous amount, and you need to have deep policies. You need to have policies of funding. You need to have policies of execution. You need to have all kinds of enabling policies, and
And out here only, sir, shouldn't we actually, since you're talking of policy, I think one of the biggest retarders of our progress or growth has been our huge bureaucratic
Yes.
policies. Uh, those need to be simplified and reduced to doable things in a short time.
I'll put it this way: you need to develop a bureaucracy which enables this
Absolutely.
story,
Absolutely.
and which will happen only if you get uh, domain specialists to run your bureaucracy.
Yeah. Technocrats is what you're referring to. I mean, it took Manmohan Singh to revive our economy.
Our economy. It was not a politician,
Yeah.
and he cut through.
And it is taking possibly Jai Shankar, a technocrat, to put us on the
Yeah, your foreign policy is sorted out,
yeah.
but your other
Similarly, I can quote examples. Gatkari,
Yeah.
engineer,
who's putting your communications
yeah,
through
who's putting the backbone of growth.
growth. So you need someone different. The normal generalist bureaucrat will be a huge retarder.
Yeah.
So, but you need specialists.
Yeah.
And specialists in these three domains who understand the interactivity in these three, and then you're on your way.
There's one more question which keeps lurking, because when you exploit AI, there are two questions which come to the mind of people. They say that if you are driving your processes, whether they are energy generation or whether you are going to the moon with the systems which you want efficient through AI, they stand the risk of being cyber threatened, as also they stand the risk of sometimes black box or ethical, what we
Yeah.
call it as. Now black box is garbage in, garbage out, right? So I always give a very mundane example. Earlier, whenever you went for a buying a vegetable, you would say half a kg of lauki. So you say 10 rupees or 20 rupees and half a kg of gajar, and that fellow will give you carrots and tell you, okay, 30 rupees. Nowadays, you find when you go to a vendor, you ask him for even just two items, he will take out his calculator and say 20 plus 10, and then he'll say 30. Are we going to get trapped into major problems? Should we remove the human angle from the AI processes in the future? We become slave to AI. This is the danger which some of the people are raising in the environment, and about ethics, in the sense that should we use AI blindly across the board? So, what do you have to say on these two things? Because we were discussing AI, so I thought, let me ask
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I mean, AI can be very unethical,
Yes.
right? And AI can make you dumb also.
Yeah, I'm referring to that.
Okay. Yeah. So I think there's a when you make your policies, you shouldn't be over dependent on AI
Yeah.
for everything. With complete policy, I mean, complete
I
fallback
see a mad
options.
rush for everything. Go for
No,
AI.
no. AI is also you need to apply yourself.
Absolutely.
After all, ultimately AI has to be made by someone,
Correct.
right?
So that's very important that
That's
people have to
important.
understand.
People have to understand.
Are we going to create pundits, new
No,
pundits? That's the danger,
yeah, you
With
can't
our culture, that's what happened. We created the pundits and rest became the
followers.
followers.
No, I don't think we should do that. And for that, again, you need a good policy.
Okay.
And I'm sure. See, while everyone says we are lagging behind, you probably have an advantage here because as you develop from behind, you have the
Actually, yeah, I read an article incidentally that somebody praised India. They said, okay, Indians are the smarter ones. They're seeing the
this
Americans
every
developing, they're seeing the Chinese developing, and they are seeing the problems which these guys are
we
facing.
are circumventing
So
them.
possibly the Indians are the best to overcome these problems even before
Before,
they
yeah,
start looking into it. The only thing is that I think we need to be a little faster so
yeah,
that we are there. We are not like you said, we are there. We are not left far behind, as it happened with the past three industrial revolutions which took place,
yeah.
four in fact. Industry 2 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. So my two quick more questions for you. One question in fact is that, so what should be your summary of way ahead for India? I mean, if you have to give four bullet points, how should India now move? And one of the bullet points I want you to focus is, how should our military exploit this transforming triangular technology for future?
Look, first and foremost, a lot of drive has to come from the military.
Okay.
The military has to realize the potential. Military has to look ahead. The thing is, most of our military leaders get stuck in day-to-day transactional business and they don't look at the future.
Future.
And you need to have more technology in the military. People have to understand this.
Yeah.
Unless we don't understand this, we are out of the equation.
Okay.
And the military will ultimately have to drive this because a lot of space-based technology will be military-driven. Okay. Internally, we need to have a clear-cut policy, and this has to be a national policy,
Mission mode.
mission mode policy with right, and you have to have uh, the vision that you can't do everything on your own. So your collaborative international collaboration is
Okay.
important. And here we have an advantage that people trust us. Trust is an important factor.
Correct.
Build on that and get people so that you become one of the big centers of this triangle.
Okay.
You might not be the leader in AI, you might not be the leader in energy, but you might not be the leader in space, but all three put together, you're a big bang.
Yeah, correct.
How do you realize that potential with the confidence? You have to have that confidence. And the second, of course, the last thing which I'll say is you have the second mover advantage. Use that second mover
Yes,
advantage
which we just referred to.
yeah, and build things less costly with lesser problems. And the last but not the least is you need to educate your own people about this awareness, what is happening.
Okay.
And when people see things moving, then a lot of things will move on their own. That's the way I look at it.
Thank you, John Shankar. I think we had a very nice discussion as far as today's topic was concerned. AI, space, and energy. Talking of convergence, how it is going to impact our current functioning, and how is it going to impact the future. It's an area which has been less traveled. I would put it this way. We need to start focusing on this new area, as you had suggested during our pre-podcast conversation which we had, and we will take it forward further as we mature this particular approach in the future, and we will have more such podcasts both on your channel, which is Ganad's Shot, and on the Center for Land Warfare channel. With that, thank you to all our audience, and thank you for listening in. Wait out for the podcast to come out. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.